how many members of the House verified and swore before him the impeachment complaint?
Secretary General, please respond to the query of the Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to Section 14, Rule 4 of the Rules of Procedures, in impeachment proceedings, the total number of House members who verified and swore before me this impeachment complaint is 215 House members.
The Majority Leader is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, may we know what is 1/3 of the total number of the members of the House?
The Secretary General will please respond.
Mr. Speaker, 1/3 of the total number of members of the House is 102.
The Secretary General has responded to the query of the Majority Leader. The Majority Leader is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, for the record, in consonance with the Constitution on Article 11 on accountability of public officers, particularly Section 3, Paragraph 4, and pursuant to Section 14, Rule 4 of the Rules of Procedure in impeachment proceedings, which provides as follows. Section 14, endorsement of the complaint resolution to the Senate. A verified complaint resolution of impeachment filed by at least 1/3 of all the members of the House shall constitute the articles of impeachment. And in this case, the verified complaint resolution shall be endorsed to the Senate in the same manner as an approved bill of the House. Considering that the Secretary General has certified that at least 215 members of the House of Representatives have verified and swore before him the said impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte, and consistent with our rules, I move that the Secretary General be directed immediately to endorse the same to the Senate.
There is a motion to direct the Secretary General to immediately endorse to the Senate the impeachment complaint, having been filed by more than 1/3 of the membership of the House, or a total of 215 members. Is there any objection? The Chair hears none. The motion is approved. The Secretary General is so directed. The session is suspended. The session is resumed. The Majority Leader is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Section 16, Rule 6 of the Rules of Procedure in impeachment proceedings, I move to elect the following members of the House of Representatives as prosecutors in the trial on the impeachment complaint filed against Vice President Sara C. Duterte. Representative Jervil Jinky Beatrix Luistro. Representative Romeo M. Acop. Representative Ramon Rodrigo Gutierrez. Representative Joel R. Chua. Representative Raul Angelo Gil Bongalon. Representative Loreto B. Acharon. Representative Marcelino C. Libanan. Representative Arnan C. Panaligan. Representative Isabel Maria Zamora. Representative Lawrence R. Defensor. And Representative Jonathan Keith T. Flores. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion to elect the aforementioned members as prosecutors in the trial of the impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Z. Duterte. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The majority leader is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, in the additional reference of business earlier read by the Secretary General, there are 3 other impeachment complaints filed against Vice President Sara C. Duterte. These are the impeachment complaint filed by Teresita Quintos Deles, Father Flaviano Villanueva, Gary Alejano et al. And endorsed by Representative Percival Sedanya of Akbayan Party List on December 2, 2024. Next is an impeachment complaint filed by Teodoro Casino, Lisa Masa, Nery Colmenares et al. And endorsed by Representative Franz L. Castro of ACT Teachers Party List, Representative Arlene Brosas of Gabriela Party List, and Representative Raul Daniel Manuel of Kabataan Party List on December 4, 2024. And the last one, Mr. Speaker, the third one, impeachment complaint filed by Reverend Father Antonio Labiao Jr., Reverend Father Rico Ponce, Reverend Father Dionisio Ramos et al., and endorsed by Representative Gabriel Bordado Jr. of the 3rd District of Camarines Sur, and Representative Lex Anthony Chris Colada of Ambis OWA Party List on December 19, 2024. Pursuant to our rules of procedure in the impeachment proceedings, considering that the plenary has already transmitted to the Senate the impeachment complaint filed by 215 members on February 5, 2025, that is today, I move that the 3 other impeachment complaints filed on December 2, 2024, December 4, 2024, and December 19, 2024, be transmitted to the archives. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion to transmit to the archives the aforementioned 3 impeachment complaints filed last December 2, 4, and 19, 2024. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. These impeachment complaints are transmitted to the archives.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended.
Kanilang Vice Mayor Angelito Abiera, mga guests ng ating napakasipag at napakahusay na kinatawan mula sa lalawigan ng Batangas. Malugod po namin kayo tinatanggap sa House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, also under the calendar of business for the day, I move to take up House Bill number 11382 under Committee Report number 1392. And may we ask the Secretary General to read the title of the measure.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The Secretary General is hereby directed to read the title of the said House Bill.
House Bill 11382, an act creating 2 additional branches of the Municipal Trial Court in cities in the 11th Judicial Region to be stationed in the city of Coronadal, province of South Cotabato, and appropriating funds therefore, amending for the purpose Section 29 of Batas Pambansa Bilang 129, otherwise known as the Judiciary Reorganization Act of 1980 as amended.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we move to open the period of sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The period of sponsorship and debate is hereby open. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize Representative Juliet Ferrer to sponsor the measure.
The Representative Juliet Ferrer, you may proceed for your sponsorship.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my esteemed colleagues, it is my honor to sponsor House Bill number 11382, contained in Committee Report 1392, principally authored by Representative Peter B. Miguel, creating 2 additional branches of the Municipal Trial Court in cities in the 11th Judicial Region to be stationed in the city of Coronadal, province of South Cotabato, and appropriating funds therefore, amending for the purpose Section 29 of Batas Pambansa 129, otherwise known as the Judiciary Reorganization Act of 1980 as amended. Mr. Speaker, I respectfully submit that the explanatory note of House Bill number 11382 to be adopted as a sponsorship speech for the said measure, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no interpellators, we move that we close the period of sponsorship and debate.
There's a motion that we close the period of interpellation, there being no interpellators. Any objection? The chair hears none. Motion's approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
There's a motion to open the period of amendments. Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion's approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being neither committee nor individual amendments, I move to close the period of amendments.
There being no committee or individual amendments, there's a motion that we close the period of amendments. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion's approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on House Bill number 11382.
There's a motion that we vote on House Bill 11382. All those who are in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill number 11382 is hereby approved in second reading. Congratulations. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider, under the calendar of business for the day, House Bill number 11384 as contained in Committee Report number 1393. Printed copies have been previously distributed to the members pursuant to the rules. For this purpose, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill.
There's a motion to consider House Bill 11384. The Secretary General is hereby directed to read the title of the said House Bill.
House Bill number 11384, an act creating 1 additional branch of the Regional Trial Court in the 4th Judicial Region to be stationed in the municipality of San Pascual, and 2 additional branches of the Municipal Trial Court in the 4th Judicial Region to be stationed in the municipalities of Lobo and Tingloy, all in the province of Batangas, and appropriating funds therefore, amending for the purpose Sections 14E and 30 of Batas Pambansa Bilang 129, otherwise known as the Judiciary Reorganization Acts of 1980 as amended.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Justice, Representative Juliet Marie de Leon Ferrer of the 4th District of Negros Occidental, to sponsor the measure.
The Honorable Chairperson of the Committee on Justice, Congresswoman Juliet Ferrer, you're recognized for your sponsorship. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, it is my honor to sponsor House Bill number 11384, contained in Committee Report 1393, principally authored by Representative Jervil Jinky Beatrix R. Luistro, creating one additional branch of the Regional Trial Court in the 4th Judicial Region to be stationed in the municipality of San Pascual and 2 additional branches of the Municipal Trial Court in the 4th Judicial Region to be stationed in the municipalities of Lobo and Tingloy, all in the province of Batangas, and appropriating funds therefore, amending for the purpose sections 14E and 30 of Batas Pambansa Bilang 129, otherwise known as the Judiciary Reorganization Act of 1980 as amended. Mr. Speaker, I respectfully submit the explanatory note of House Bill number 11384 to be adopted as the sponsorship speech for the said measure.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of interpellation.
There's a motion that we open the period of interpellation. Any objection? Motion's approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpellate, I move that we close the period of interpellation.
Is there any objection? Motion's approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendment.
There's a motion that we open the period of amendments. Any objection? Chair is done. Motion's approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no individual nor committee amendment, I move that we terminate the period of amendment.
There's a motion that we terminate the period of amendments, there being no committee or individual amendments. Any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I now move that we vote on second reading, House Bill number 11384. So moved, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion that we approved on second reading, House Bill 11384. All those who are in favor, please say aye. All those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill number 11384 is hereby approved in second reading. Congratulations.
Thank
Majority
you, Mr.
Leader.
Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we now proceed with additional reference of business and request that the Secretary General be directed to read the titles of bills and resolutions on first reading, as well as the communications and committee reports.
Secretary General, you may proceed.
Additional reference of business, bills on first reading. House Bill 11417, further amending Section 6 and 9 of the Charter of Palampon Polytechnic State University by Representative Gomez.
To the Committee on Higher and Technical Education.
House Bill 11418, mandatory allocating budget for youth programs in the local government by Representative Hernandez.
To the Committee on Local Government.
House Bill 11419, granting free maintenance medicines to senior citizens by Representative Hernandez.
To the Committee on Senior Citizens.
House Bill 11420, institutionalizing the Philippine National Games by Representative Gomez.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Bill 11422, providing for monthly stipend for students in state universities and colleges whose parents are enrolled in the 4Ps by Representative Sendanya.
To the Committee on Higher and Technical Education.
House Bill 11424, providing for the revised charter of the Overseas Filipino Bank by Representative Salo.
To the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries.
House Bill 11425, amending the Creating a People's Small-Scale Mining Program and for Other Purposes Act by Representative Yap Eric.
To the Committee on Natural Resources.
House Bill 11426, enhancing the protection and welfare standards for migrant workers through expanded compulsory insurance coverage by Representative Vargas Alfonso.
To the Committee on Overseas Workers Affairs.
House Bill 11427, streamlining the registration and licensing of Minahang Bayan and ensuring environmental protection and responsible mining in the utilization of mineral resources by Representative Yap Eric.
To the Committee on Natural Resources.
House Bill 11428, amending Article 1, Section 5 of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos Act of 2009 by Representative Macapagal Arroyo.
To the Committee on Muslim Affairs.
House Bill 11432, addressing the shortage of principals in public schools and for this purpose mandating a one school, one principal policy by Representative Castro Franz.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 11433, strengthening the Philippine Coast Guard by introducing policy and organizational reforms by Representative Madrona.
To the Committee on Transportation.
House Bill 11435, converting the municipality of Isulan, province of Sultan Kudarat, into a component city to be known as the City of Isulan by Representative Sakaluran.
To the Committee on Local Government.
House Bill 11436, naming the Cebu-Cordova Link Expressway to Raul V. Del Mar Bridge by Representative Del Mar.
To the Committee on Public Works.
Resolutions. House Resolution 2224, congratulating and commending Chino Tanconsiansi in the 51st All Japan Sambo Championships and Japan 2025 International Competition held in Tokyo, Japan in January 2025 and for bringing honor and pride to the country and the Filipino people by Representative Gomez.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Resolution 2225, urging the Committees on Agrarian Reform and Cooperatives Development to jointly conduct an investigation on the reported exploitation and violations committed by Agumil Philippines Incorporated against palm oil cooperatives and farmers in Palawan that resulted in heavy deaths and displacement from their own lands by Representative Brosas Castro Franz and Manuel.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 2226, urging the Executive Department through the DFA and the DOF to continue to participate actively at the United Nations Tax Convention negotiations from February 3 to 6, 2025, and to vote with all developing countries for the adoption of a comprehensive and progressive United Nations Tax Convention by Representative Sendanya.
To the Committee on Foreign Affairs.
House Resolution 2228, urging the Department of Labor and Employment, the Department of Migrant Workers, and the Department of Foreign Affairs to craft a comprehensive plan of action to address the impact of United States President Donald Trump's immigration policies on Filipino migrants in the United States by Representative Salo.
To the Committee on Foreign Affairs.
House Resolution 2229, calling the appropriate committee to conduct an inquiry into the alleged condominium oversupply in Metro Manila by Representative Copilar.
To the Committee on Rules.
Communications. Letters dated January 24, 2025 of the BSP Bank Officer 6, Office of the General Counsel and Legal Services, transmitting to the House of Representatives duly certified copies of certain BSP issuances.
To the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries.
Committee reports. Committee Report 1414 submitted by the Committees on Social Services, Appropriations, and Committee on Ways and Means on House Bill 11423. Committee Report 1415 submitted by the Committees on Agriculture and Food and Appropriations on House Bill 11429. Committee Report numbers 1416 and 1418 submitted by the Committee on Youth and Sports Development on House Resolution 2227 and House Bill 11431. Committee Report 1417 submitted by the Committees on Disaster Resilience and Appropriations on House Bill 11430. Committee Report 1419 submitted by the Committees on Civil Service and Professional Regulation, Appropriations, and Ways and Means on House Bill 11434. Committee Report 1420 submitted by the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation on House Bill 11437. Committee Report 1421 submitted by the Committee on Metro Manila Development on the Privileged Speech 00181.
The aforementioned committee reports are all referred to the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the guests of Antonieta R. Udela from the 2nd District of Zamboanga, Sibugay. The following visitors: Aniseta Awit, Merlita Awit, Christine Irene Bulan, Plaridel Caparas, Joel Jeffrey Awit, and Caleb Bulan.
To the guests of Congresswoman Antoinette Atetata Udela from Zamboanga, Sibugay, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill number 11400 as contained in the committee report number 1405. And for this purpose, may I request the Secretary General to read the title of the bill.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. The Secretary General is hereby directed to read the title of the said House Bill.
House Bill 11400, an act expanding the coverage of the senior citizens' privileges and benefits, further amending Republic Act Number 7432 as amended, entitled An Act to Maximize the Contribution of Senior Citizens to Nation Building, Grant Benefits and Special Privileges, and for other purposes.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the chairperson of the Committee on Senior Citizens, Representative Rodolfo Ompong Ordanes, be recognized to begin his sponsorship of the measure.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The chairperson on the Committee on Senior Citizen, Congressman Ompong Ordanes, you may now proceed for your sponsorship.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And good afternoon to all our guests and colleagues in this August chamber. Today, I rise to sponsor the proposed House Bill number 11400 under Committee Report number 1405, entitled An Act Granting Additional Benefits and Privileges to Senior Citizens, amending for the purpose Republic Act number 7432 as amended. This measure embodies our unwavering commitment to enhancing the welfare and quality of life of our elderly population. Ang ating mga senior citizens ay nag-alay ng dekada ng kanilang buhay para sa pagbuo at pag-unlad ng ating bansa. Kaya naman, tungkulin natin bilang isang lipunan na parangalan ang kanilang mga ambag sa pamamagitan ng pagsiguro na ang kanilang mga pangangailangan ay patuloy na natutugunan at ang kanilang mga karapatan ay napangangalagaan. As such, this bill proposes a compilation of amendments to expand the benefits and privileges granted to senior citizens. Third-party apps and websites like Grab, Foodpanda, Shopee, and Lazada have become essential to the Philippine economy. The rapid growth of digital technology has made it easier to access and provide products and services for the comfort of our homes. This shift became especially evident during the COVID-19 pandemic, when mobility restrictions pushed everyone, including senior citizens, to rely on the internet and digital platforms for basic needs. Sa investigasyong sinagawa ng Committees of Ways and Means, Senior Citizens at Special Committee on Persons with Disabilities noong nakaraang taon, isa sa pinakamalaking isyong lumutang ay ang hindi pagbibigay o pagtanggi ng mga nararapat na diskwento na nakasaad sa batas para sa ating mga senior citizens tuwing sila'y bumibili o nag-o-order online. This bill addresses a gap in Republic Act 9994 or the expanded Senior Citizens Act of 2010, which does not clearly apply discounts to online transactions. While we recognize the efforts of government agencies like the DTI, DA, and DOE in issuing Joint Memorandum Number 02, Series of 2024, to enforce senior citizen and PWD benefits for online purchases, we see the need to enshrine this provision into law for stricter enforcement. Further, this representation believes that the state and the private sector are responsible for enhancing the general public's welfare, thus introducing the role of HMOs and insurance. However, even with health plan enrollment and insurance benefits, many senior citizens still struggle to afford hospitalization and major surgery costs. This proposed amendment seeks to ensure that individuals covered by healthcare and insurance providers can still access the government-granted benefits by including payments made through HMOs and insurance companies. We can help ease financial burdens and ensure everyone receives necessary medical care. These proposed discounts and tax benefits will also help address the essential needs of senior citizens, reducing their financial burdens by covering essential goods such as medicines, food supplements, utilities, transportation via transport network vehicle services, toll fees in skyways and expressways, parking, and professional health care. The additional benefits including a 15% discount in electricity and water utilities, 8.5% special discounts on basic necessities, corresponding exemptions, and an increase in debt benefit assistance to 25,000 pesos. Directly improve the affordability of essential services and commodities. Moreover, expanded privileges like exemptions from parking fees and the Unified Vehicular Volume Program if a senior citizen is on board the vehicle, and discounts on traffic fines demonstrate the government's respect and care for our mobility and dignity. My dear colleagues, this bill is more than just a piece of legislation. It is a statement of our nation's gratitude to this valuable sector. As such, I strongly urge this august body to approve this measure. Together, let us continue to build a society where the rights and needs of our elderly are continuously cherished and safeguarded. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member wishes to interpolate the sponsor, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate.
There is a motion. Any objection? There being none, motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Period of amendments is now open. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no committee nor individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments.
There being no committee or individual amendments, there is a motion to close the period of amendments. Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading, House Bill number 11400.
There's a motion that we vote on second reading the approval of House Bill 11400. All those who are in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill number 11400 is hereby approved on second reading. Congratulations, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we'd like to take up on second reading House Bill number 11359 and under Committee Report number 1373, and we would like to ask the Secretary General to read the title of the measure.
There's a motion. Is there any objection? There being none. The Secretary General is hereby directed to read the title of the said House Bill. You may proceed.
House Bill number 11359, an act providing for a comprehensive and responsive civil registration and vital statistics system.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to open the period of sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to recognize Representative Angelica Natasha Ko of the party list BHW to sponsor the measure.
Congresswoman Angelica Natasha Ko of the BHW party list, you're hereby recognized for your sponsorship. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, and fellow public servants, a pleasant day to all. On behalf of the chairperson of the Committee on Population and Family Relations, Representative Ian Paul D., it is with great honor and deep responsibility that I stand before you today to sponsor and strongly advocate for the immediate passage of House Bill number 11359 in substitution of House Bills numbered 4480, 8823, and 9572, entitled An Act Providing for a Comprehensive and Responsive Civil Registration and Vital Statistics System. This measure represents a long overdue and transformative reform, as the country's civil registration system is a 1930s law. The current civil registration framework is governed by Act number 3753, also known as the Civil Registry Law of the Philippines, which was enacted into law on the 26th of November 1930. While we accept the importance of our old law, this proposed measure will ensure the accurate, effective, and inclusive documentation of vital events in the lives of all Filipinos. While Act number 3753 laid the foundation for civil registration, it is imperative to update and reform this almost century-old law to align our civil registry system with technological advancements, international best practices, and the evolving needs of governance. Honorable Speaker, the civil registration serves as the foundation of legal identity of every Filipino. A birth certificate is not merely a document. It is the key that unlocks fundamental rights and access to essential services such as education, healthcare, employment, social protection programs, and legal recognition. However, despite its undeniable importance, our current civil registration system remains burdened by systematic inefficiencies and challenges that undermine its effectiveness. Among these persistent issues are the fraudulent registrations of vital records uncovered during the Quad Committee deliberations, delays in birth registration, inaccessibility of civil registry services in geographically isolated and remote areas, data inconsistencies, and data management issues stemming from the absence of a unified digital platform for securing and maintaining the vital records. The Philippine Civil Registry Act seeks to address these challenges and institutionalize a modern, efficient, and responsive civil registration system through the establishment of the Philippine Civil Registration Authority, a specialized and independent entity distinct from the PSA's census, demographic, and statistical functions, mandated to administer and oversee the civil registration, promulgate and enforce policies, rules, and regulations, establish and maintain the Philippine Civil Registry database, and ensure universal and accessible registration of vital records. The swift passage of the Philippine Civil Registry Act will bridge the inefficiencies in our civil registration system, ensuring that no Filipino is left undocumented and that every citizen has a legal identity and enhanced public service delivery. This will streamline processes with stronger data security and fraud prevention, improve coordination with national and local government units, and promote economic growth and global competitiveness. Honorable colleagues, this proposed legislation is not merely an administrative reform. It is a matter of social justice, governance, and national development. Delays in its passage mean continued inefficiencies, gaps in identity documentation, and lost opportunities for many Filipinos. I humbly call upon each of you to support the immediate passage of the Philippine Civil Registry Act. Let us act with resolve and urgency to institutionalize a modern, inclusive, efficient, and responsive civil registration system, one that serves not only the present generation, but also those to come. Thank you very much.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no interpellators, I move to close the period of sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to open the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? Chair hears none. Period of amendments is now open. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being neither committee nor individual amendments, I move to close the period of amendments.
There being no committee or individual amendments, there is a motion that we close the period of amendments. Any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to vote on second reading House Bill number 11359.
There's a motion that we vote for approval on second reading, House Bill number 11359. All those who are in favor, please say aye. All those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill number 11359 is hereby approved on second reading. Congratulations. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to our rules governing inquiries in aid of legislation, I move to refer the speech of Representative Zia Alonto Adyong, delivered on January 27, 2025, to the Committee on Public Accounts.
Is there any objection? Motion hereby approved and referred to the Committee on Public Accounts. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the House and the Senate have approved on third reading House Bill number 6557 and Senate Bill number 2838, respectively, providing for the Magna Carta of Barangay Health Workers. We have been informed that the Committee on Local Government, sponsor of House Bill number 6557, as well as the authors thereof, are in concurrence with the provisions of Senate Bill number 2838. In accordance with our rules, I move to adopt Senate Bill number 2838 as an amendment to House Bill number 6557.
There's a motion to adopt Senate Bill number 2838 as amended to House Bill number 6557. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Senate Bill number 2838 is adopted as an amendment to House Bill number 6557. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Senate passed with amendments House Bill number 10841, strengthening the Philippine Coast Guard by introducing policy and organizational reforms. We have been informed that the Committee on Transportation, the sponsor of the aforementioned House Bill, as well as the authors thereof, have no objections to the amendments of the Senate to the said measure. In accordance with our rules, I move to concur with the Senate amendments to House Bill number 10841.
There is a motion to concur with the Senate amendments to the House Bill number 10841. Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Senate passed with amendments House Bill number 10472, increasing the bed capacity of the Southern Tagalog Regional Hospital in the city of Bacoor, province of Cavite. We have been informed that the Committee on Health, sponsor of the aforementioned House Bill, as well as the authors, has no objections to the amendments of the Senate to the said measure. In accordance with our rules, I move to concur with the Senate amendments to House Bill number 10472.
There is a motion to concur with the Senate amendments to House Bill number 10472. Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Senate passed with amendments House Bill number 10081, increasing the bed capacity of the Region 1 Medical Center in the city of Dagupan, province of Pangasinan. We have been informed that the Committee on Health, sponsor of the aforementioned House Bill, as well as the authors, has no objections to the amendments of the Senate to the said measure. In accordance with our rules, I move to concur with the Senate amendments to House Bill number 10081.
There is a motion to concur with the Senate amendment to the House Bill number 10081. Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Senate passed with amendments House Bill number 8925, requiring the proper and immediate burial of Muslim cadavers in accordance with the Islamic rites. We have been informed that the Committee on Muslim Affairs, sponsor of the aforementioned House Bill, as well as the authors, has no objections to the amendments of the Senate to the said measure. In accordance with our rules, I move to concur with the Senate amendments to House Bill number 8925.
There is a motion to concur with the Senate amendment to the House Bill number 8925. Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Speaker, we move to suspend session for a
Session suspended.